Hello everybody, welcome to my stream. I'm DC. Let me put on my glasses here. Oh, that's better. I attach some headphones, turn off the Spotify's. How y'all doing today? Hope you're doing well. Tomorrow is Tech Friday as normal. It will start an hour earlier just because I have an appointment that interferes with the normal end time. So we'll still get 2 hours of Tech Friday in, just starting an hour earlier, so 2 p.m. Eastern. Come on in. Nick, Brian, JD Lady, hello, welcome on in. All right. And so today I thought we'd do a little extra tech just in case I have to go and don't get everything in. We have a little time to talk about some other things. First thing up though, just before I decided to stream, I saw this. Y'all remember Vine? Tanya, hi. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. Y'all remember Vine? Well, it's coming back as Divine. That's D-I-V-I-N-E. Jack Dorsey in charge. No AI. And I don't know, was there like a call for this somewhere? I didn't realize. Was someone saying, you know what would be great? Vine comeback. I'm very confused, but nonetheless, it's a thing. There is a beta available for iOS and Android. Definitely have thoughts, but right? Like, okay. There's no one ever told me of their halcyon days on Vine, but you know, go for it. Why not? At this point, you know, just do the things. All right. I got to pull up a message real quick because I wanted to talk about a thing. Yeah, I wasn't sure that was something I want to save for tomorrow, Tech Friday proper, but that'd be all right to cover right now. Let's see. Let's do this. And I'm just checking something real quick. All right. So I wanted to get my link. I did sign up for and because I mentioned Fantasy Grounds, they did send me an invite to their affiliate program. And I'm like, okay. So I joined that mostly because of what they're doing with their new reader app that's currently in beta, where they've designed to make the books that they get from other publishers more screen reader friendly. And as I showed, I can use a web clipper thing, clip the Obsidian's web clipper, put the part of the adventure or the bit of rules I want, clip that into my Obsidian vault, and have it easily searchable and accessible. And I think that's amazing. That took extra work to do and set up. So if you take a look at Fantasy Grounds and you get anything off Fantasy Grounds, use my affiliate link. I get a commission off of it. But there you go. There's my link. So if you use Fantasy Grounds for your VTT, or you start getting other rule books from them, and because of their screen reader friendliness, I don't use screen reader, but they made it really clean, and I can get the text into Obsidian and easily searchable. This will make my adventure planning way easier. No, they don't know I'm doing this or saying this. This is just why I joined their affiliate program, because I thought they were doing something worthwhile mentioning. And so, yeah, if you buy books or any of their stuff for their VTT, yeah, use that link right down there. It'd be great. All right. And as I said the other day, I'm still using D&D Beyond for characters and maps and everything. But Fantasy Grounds has so many other role-playing games to it, and making it real easy to access that information. That's fantastic. And so try it, see what happens. But definitely, if you think about buying something from Fantasy Grounds, or you know someone that wants to, just use my link, because it helps me, and that'd be great. Okay, we got that out of the way. What else was there? Oh yeah, I am producing a charity stream this Saturday. It'll be fantastic. I finished the overlay and got the okay for it last night. So I thought we'd go over how I set up OBS for such things. I'm not going to show you the overlay I made for the game on Saturday. We'll keep that for Saturday surprise. But I did want to go through the steps of everything that I set up for an AP. As soon as I can find the link, here we go. All right, so Saturday, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, over on twitch.tv/KeithAmon. Check out The Ones Who Endure. Bunch of great charities. Can choose which one to donate to. And yeah, as Keith writes, join us as we play D&D and raise funds in support of our neighbors who are being threatened with harassment, assault, and kidnapping in the name of immigration enforcement. And everyone has a charity local to their area, and those links will go throughout chat. There will be donation rewards as well to help the players. So come on by, check that out. I'll be behind the scenes hitting the buttons and doing the things. I'm just powering up OBS. Ask me later. Okay. All right. Let me do a quick remove. Okay, so I'm going to show off my OBS. Or, well, not the OBS you're watching now, but the other OBS I use to show things. The portable version. Yeah, I should be able to go to, well, actually, let's make sure. Yeah, demo window has it up for me. Yay, look at that. All right, so here you go. Now, normally I would have let me get rid of all this. Let's just start clean. Oh, there needs to be at least one scene, right? All right, so we rename this. So one of the first things I do, this is after I know I have some assets to work with. I'll set up the scenes, and I usually do a few. I have the start, which is usually the flyer. That comes up. Where did my window go? There we go. I lost track of my window. And then I will call the next one main, which is what you'll see the majority of the time. Be right back screen. And an end scene, which again is usually the same as the start screen. I also put in a my cam. Oops. And I do this because I'll use my virtual camera in Zoom or wherever I am to talk to people. So I need a camera scene in OBS. And so I just have my camera set up. Right, so let me turn on the virtual camera over here. So I can place it into, so I could do this. And then I don't actually know if this will work. I try video capture device. Okay. And then, yeah, OBS virtual camera. And look, oh, it's me. So now I have this set up. And then to make sure that this is the virtual cam output, I don't want any of the other scenes going in. Like I don't want the main or start scene. I just want people to be able to see me while I'm setting up so they know there's a person here. They can say hi. I can talk to them. They can see my lips moving. Right, so you go over here. You click the gear. And then output type. You want scene. And then I choose the my cam scene. And that way, as long as I have the virtual camera on, this is what people will see in Zoom. They'll see me. And then in Zoom, I can turn off my video feed to not be distracting while they play. So, or I can change this to be the program feed that I'm sending out as well, just by going again to settings, output type, program default. If I want the players to have a small window of what's happening live, but some players find that distracting, so I only do that when I know it's not going to be distracting to people. So yeah, that's my basic setup. Now there could be other things. You might be adjusting scenes, and so I would name them appropriately. But basically, this is the loose skeleton: start, main, BRB, and my camera. Right? And then let me add source. We'll do one thing because it's already out there. We'll add the image. of the flyer for the Saturday stream. There we go. All right, so back to it. So yeah, this is when you come on. That's what's going to be. I don't know of any music I can use, so I'm not going to put music on. So everyone will just see this at the start. And now, usually I have it on fade, unless I'm doing something where I would need the move transition. But I like to increase the fade, 600 milliseconds. Right over here, scene transitions, fade. You can change the type of transition. 600 milliseconds, give just, a little extra time. Makes a nicer fade. And then in the main, all the setup. Now, usually I'm switching between Canva and OBS. So I'm either making a thing in OBS or I'm making it in Canva and then importing into OBS. For this, let's add a text source. Title. And select font. I usually use where is it? There it is. That's fine. Okay. And then, since Brian's here, right? I'll do that. I'll shrink down the name. Sometimes OBS gets weird with it. And I'll put it under a box, a frame. Now, usually what I do is I go into Canva and I use their tools to build a frame and make it a transparent PNG because you want to be able to see through the background. So let's add an image. And I'm going to add in a couple images real quick. Because they're already out there and I can show them off. Just don't want y'all to see everything, so I'm doing this where you can't see my the screen of what I'm choosing. We'll add that. Okay, I want to show a couple things off. Just setting this up. Thank you, bot. Good bot. Fernando, hello. Welcome on in. Good to see you again. All right, so go back to the demo window here. All right, so as you can see, I set up I have a title have the player box, and there'd be a background. And I have these couple shields we're using. Now, if I have similar elements, I would set them up. So say I wanted the shields here and here, I would resize this. The background would be the bottom one. Let's add a background. Let me find a background real quick. Image. Let's do... Where are my backgrounds? Trying to remember my own file structure. Okay, we'll use... Oh wait, here's my background. Okay, we'll use the static one I normally use. All right, so background may come in on top. You want to drag it underneath so everything else is on top, because, you know, you want to actually see your players and the graphics and everything. And then once that's in, oops. So I have my background in. I want to come down here so I don't do what I just did. Lock it. And now you can't select it. Sometimes I forget I have things locked and I get frustrated and I'm like, why can't I select this? It's because I have it locked to not move. And then once I unlock it, you notice the red, meaning I can move it again. But I have no reason to move my background once it's there. So just lock it. And I don't have to worry about accidentally clicking on it, moving it around. Anything like that. And I resize this box. I'm like, I like this box. So go down to box, right click, copy. Now here's where you want to pay attention to what you're pasting. Because you'd want to right click and you probably want to paste duplicate, because that way you can mess with it and not mess with the original. So I can shrink this box too, and it's not affecting this box. However, if I went to paste reference, notice how this is box and this is box. So now if I move them, oh, well, if it's a graphic, it stays nice. If this is text though, if I did this, if I did that to text, it will change the text everywhere. Notice how it's deleting the name. So yeah, make sure you're pasting, you're using the right paste. Sniff the right glue, folks. Because OBS will give you two options. So if you need to adjust everything in it, and you want to guarantee you adjust one, you adjust all the others, paste reference. If you don't, if you want to leave something the way it is and have another one of the same thing, paste duplicate. And so now I have these boxes here, and I'm happy with my boxes placement. Move these out of the way. Like, okay, this is good. We'll do this. I'll drag one box to another just to make it easier to select. Come down here, I'll hold Shift and click whatever I want. Right click, and then group selected items. Now these are all in the box group. Oh, that name's already in use. Okay, I can't. Oh, right, because it's right. I gotta name it something else. Rename. Oh, box group isn't in use. There we go. So now, if I move the boxes, I'm moving all of them. So be aware of that. If you just want to go back and move one box, go back here, go into the box group and click on the individual item, and then you can move it. Again, if I'm moving the group, right, like say I want that for some reason. But grouping the things helps me just keep things organized more than anything else, more than moving stuff around, because once I have it where I like it, if it's a group of things, I can lock the group. And now both these boxes are locked. I can't click on them to move them around. They are in place. And so instead of locking everything individually, if you lock the group, it applies to everything in that group. I can do the same with the shields. Again, shift click the things you want. Group selected items. And it just makes things more organized. And again, if I want to move the separate pieces, I go in, I click on the separate piece, and now I'm free to move it wherever I want. But it's also showing me that it's still going to be part of this grouping, right? Like now my grouping is kind of going to be that shape or that shape, wherever I move this. Still trying to include this in the group, but I have the freedom to move these wherever I want, as long as I click on them individually down here. Because if I just click on them here, it's gonna make the whole group move. So if I need individual manipulation, I have to come down to sources and click on it if it's in a group. Reference versus duplicate has thwarted many a streamer. It has. So yeah, this is the usual setup. You know, we have a BRB screen. If, you know, I have something that says BRB on it, and, you know, I set that up individually, but for Saturday, the start and end screen will both be the flyer. So when we start, this will be up and on. Then we'll have a fancy overlay I made. These shields and things, these banners Keith provided me. I didn't make these parts, but the background you see, these windows, I made. And there's another couple of graphics that Keith sent me that I have in the design. But yeah, I found the background on Canva, put it together with these frames, and it looks lovely. So if you watch the game, you know, complement the background and the overlay. All right, so main, BRB, and my cam for the virtual camera. And yeah, that's the basic setup. Any extra things like videos I need to run, you know, if I have a video to set up to run during BRB, that'll be in the sources here. Sometimes it's a static image, sometimes it's a series of videos that can I can keep looping. Just depends on what I'm given. So, like when I did work for Demiplane, they didn't go to break. They just ran 2 hours and, no break, which is fine. So they had an intro video, they had a play screen, and then they had some other play screens that they wanted me to switch to that had other information on them. I kind of cycled through some of the ads and things at various points. And so, this was the scenes. There was a lot more scenes here because that's what they needed. But a one shot, this is going to be the setup. And then adding audio, I'll typically add, if I had Zoom up, I could show you adding Zoom audio, but I'll just show you, since it's the audio will be going into my Rodecaster Duo. I go to audio input capture, and for this, I'll just capture my mic default. I don't want the Elgato virtual audio because I'm not using it. But my microphone is the Rodecaster Duo main multi-track. But for Zoom, I have it going to the Duo chat channel, so that'd be the one I select. But just so we have a volume level going. Yay, look at that. I have my microphone going. As you can see down here. And then if I want to add filters, that's the 3 dots. Then you can add filters here to it. And really only want to apply filters to voices to keep them from going too low and too high. And if they already have a system of amplifying their voice through their stuff, like I'm going through my Rodecaster Duo, I would rather you not filter me because that's filtering my voice twice and it's not going to sound as great. So, I would leave the filters off this particular thing just in case. And I can do some adjusting on the Rodecaster Duo if I need to. Again, I can just make sure that everyone's going to be loud enough and not too quiet. But I don't want to do, I want to do the minimal, adding as few filters as possible to it because everyone has a different audio setup. And like when Brian's on the show, I don't use any filters. I don't use any audio filters on his voice because I know they have a mic and it's processed the way they want it to be processed. And there's no need for me to double filter that. All right. So just be cautious with filter. And if you use a filter in one place, let's say I use a filter on the Rodecaster Duo, don't use the same filter in OBS as well, because then you're double filtering and it's going to sound weird. So if you use a filter, decide which one it's going to be and decide where it's going to be. And don't mix it up. Right? Don't double up, I should say. And your audio will sound pretty good. Of course, there's a lot of other things you can do, but this was just a basic overview of things. So if you have any questions on that, let me know. Oh, and then the other thing I do is because I have a Stream Deck, I put all these scenes down here. These all become buttons on my Stream Deck, so I can switch between them without having to drag my mouse over and possibly click something wrong or click on another thing I didn't intend to. And I can, keep everything fairly straightforward by hitting a button and knowing the button does its thing. Sometimes I'll also have buttons that turn filters on and off as well. Very smart. It's got to be stress on your end because you can't touch anything, right? Yeah, it's very hard. I want to make sure when zoom's up, it's on one of my monitors. Zoom is full screen and nothing touches zoom, because if I minimize zoom or whatever, that will mess up the entire overlay, because that's just how Zoom and OBS integrate with each other. So I gotta make sure, the chat is out, the captions are already up before I hit the go live button. So I have a way to talk to people behind the scenes, and I can just leave Zoom on a monitor and go, I don't touch this at all. And it's just its own thing. And then all my controls can be on these other monitors. Then and depending what I'm doing, if I'm DM and I have to be on camera too, I'll probably put Zoom on my center monitor so that when I look in my camera, I'm looking at everyone. If I'm producing, I might put Zoom over to a side monitor, so it's like, don't touch this monitor. Just leave it alone. Keep your mouse flowing between these two monitors, and leave Zoom alone over here in its own private little space. Because that way I know I won't scroll all the way over to do something. I won't be scrolling over Zoom to get to it. I can just leave it alone. And, another thing that's helpful for adjustments and such. And this has been in TV production for a long, long time. The idea of a preview window and a program window. And that's kind of what studio mode down here lets you do. So that I can go here, right? And I go, okay, preview. Notice they use the same language that's been used for years in television studios everywhere. Preview and program. And then you can transition here and things like that. Now, this transition is different than the other one if you want to transition between them. So I would go here, fade, and then I would have to set this to the 600 milliseconds. Right. And then I can fade to black, which is a traditional thing. But I can also, do my 600 millisecond fade to this window. And then when I click the scene down here, it changes. So I can see what's coming up. Or if I need to move something or change something in this window before it goes live, I can do that. So say I didn't like the placement of this, so I move it over. And I'm like, okay, that's good. Now we'll switch to that. And sometimes I'll exit studio mode and, oh, look, here's this. But I know my BRB scene is set up, so I can just hit my BRB button. Or, I'm sorry, that was the starting soon screen. I can hit the starting soon screen, and it will be the different screen. So I can go back to working like this if I just turn off studio mode. But again, so you can set this up, preview program. Program's what goes out live. It's pretty standard. It's like when I show off on microphones that RX is receiver, TX is transmitter. Pretty universal. All right. Yeah, that was a quick overview of setup. Again, things could be more complicated than that, or maybe you don't need much more than that. But that's the basic to get me started things. And I always name them the same. They're always in large capital letters so I can easily read what the button says. So that's why, I have it start, main, all caps. It's just easier for me to read the button on the Stream Deck. But yeah, and you can rename them. You don't have to follow my naming conventions by any means, whatever you're comfortable with. But yeah, that will get you up and started in OBS. And my OBS for what you're seeing right now has a whole bunch of scenes, and I have nested scenes and all sorts of things going on because it's just me and I can mess with my camera and everything else. Showed this off yesterday. I can go 3D, or I cannot be 3D. Ta-da! Right, so I have a whole bunch of stuff. The demo window I go to is a capture of another monitor. There's a scene for the Gunpla camera over there. There's a scene for my gaming. And then I have a bunch of other scenes below that, and just to do something weird every now and then. Or because, I'm adding this little shadow. If you can look over that side there, you can see a little bit of a shadow across the edge. And again, that's a filter, and that's because I have a nested camera scene, and I added that. How to do a scene audit at Tech Friday, right? Like, do I still need these? Have I used these in 3 months? I'm sure if I scroll down, I'll look at something and be like, why is that there again? Oh yeah, I don't need this anymore. Yeah, all right, let's close that out. So if you have any questions on any of that, throw them in chat. Oh, something I found out about Zoom. Let me start up Zoom. I just need to get to a setting window. Yeah, start meeting. I don't care. Okay, can I move this over? All right, so audio settings that I use for my voice going through Zoom, so that I'm not using any of their things. So here is the Zoom audio settings screen. So we have, speakers. I can test the speaker, spatial audio. Voice will sound like they're coming from each person's position on screen. Okay. I don't need that on. My microphone, again, same microphone I use everywhere. The input volume, I can, oh, that's getting weird. I can increase that if I'm too quiet, or I have my slider on the Rodecaster Duo to go up. Springleaf, hello, welcome on in. But microphone modes. So I do original sound for musicians because it sounds great, and then turn all these off. One or more of these will be on, but for captions to work right, these all need to be off. And that way, you get the sound. I'm sending out the sound of my voice, filters as I like. I'm not adding extra filters through Zoom to it. Now, if I need those filters for something, if it just sounds better, everyone please use original sound, but nothing else, please. Exactly. If you can, use this. If for some reason you need something else, you can try it, record yourself. Unless you're on a construction site, in which case you do you. But yeah, I highly recommend this. And then Zoom's own captions work far better if none of this is on. Because I was having an issue with the captions. I'm like, this just isn't as good as other captioning. That doesn't make sense. I've seen these work perfectly. Why aren't they working perfectly? So I go into my audio settings and go, oh, this stuff's on. I don't need this on. And so I turn it off, and then I can see my captions, and it worked just fine. So if you can do original sound for musicians and turn these off, because you're filtering your audio in a different way, fantastic. Unless you need this, where it says recommended for most user, or well, they want you to use noise removal usually because a lot of people, you're on your webcam meeting, and and you're not really concerned about people behind you because you're not thinking about broadcasting. So I think they have this as default because they're trying to help everybody. But for our purposes, because we, have mics and invest into our sound more, we don't need that. And also just record yourself and see what sounds good. I know listening to yourself, I don't like listening to myself, but I'll do it just to make sure I sound all right. But yeah, turn on original sound for musicians. Even if you're not a musician, do this. And then uncheck all that. Don't need it. Now, if I were Bob Business of Bob Business Emporium, I'd probably want to use this. Because I'm not going to carry around a mic with me and an audio board or anything. But if I were Bob Business, I'd probably use noise removal. But yeah. And that way you send out pretty good audio. And then however you want to adjust. Bob Business should care more about his audio. Bob Business really should. But Bob Business is thinking about quarterly earnings. But if you're out there, Bob Business, please care more about your audio. All right. Okay, let's see. Oh, there was another thing I kind of wanted to talk about today. I'll probably take a break, and then when we come back, there's another thing I could fit into today to talk about. I just got to find it again. And once again, that's like bonus tech stream because Tech Friday is going to be an hour earlier, and I just want to make sure I have a chance to get everything in for the week because I do have to get out. I do have to stop the stream fairly on time tomorrow. So that'll be starting at 2 p.m. Eastern instead of 3 p.m. Eastern. So come on by, check that out. And yeah, I'll be right back, run some ads, and be back in about 5 minutes. See you then. right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking around through the break. Appreciate it. Now, let's take a quick look here, because while I was on break, did I look for the thing? No, I did other things. See, we talked about Vine coming back for reasons. Let's see, what else do we have here? Yeah, that'll be tomorrow. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, here's a security note that Brian kindly posted into my Discord. If you use Blender, as a precaution, you're going to want to turn off auto run Python. And here's the note on Blue Sky. Seemed to be someone's Discord got hacked through it. So turn that off, look at that thread, and keep you and your friends safe. All right. Oh, real briefly, since I did talk about being part of the Fantasy Grounds affiliate program now, and I'll re-get that link for everybody. If I find out Fantasy Grounds is doing something weird, I will not be an affiliate of them anymore. But right now, I'm there. So yay. Let's see here. Where'd my link go? Great, now I can't find. There we go. So if you use Fantasy Ground, you want to use their new Reader app that's currently in beta, and you buy anything from Fantasy Grounds, use my affiliate link, and that way I get a little bit of that back. So keep that bookmark, and it's another way to support me. So yeah, I'm still an affiliate for Doros as well. I just don't have their thing set up like I used to. And but the proudest achievement I've had this year was you see the little logo up there, right there, joining Team Cypher. Yeah. That was the best part of the year. I also did get into just so y'all know, I got into the Twitch Tabletop Creator Club. Yay, teamwork. Yeah. So I'm in that, so eventually I'll remember to add their little graphics to my frames down below, and you'll see that as well. So yeah, those are the main spaces I occupy. Again, support everyone on Team Cypher because they're great. All right. And maybe it was a YouTube video I saw. Yeah, if you want to talk about any of that, have any questions, put them in chat, because why not? You're getting bonus tech today. If you have questions, ask away. What do I want to look at? My watch later list. Here we go. Oh, there is a... I saw one video on this, and the guy was talking about Blackmagic Design, the people who make the ATEM Mini switchers, and we're going to be talking about video switchers tomorrow. Said that they made an announcement earlier in the year, and he thought they were coming close to doing it, so there might be a new Blackmagic Design video switcher announcement with their ATEM line fairly soon. And when they actually make that announcement and people have dissected it down, we'll talk about that. But I don't have any other than this so far. This one person talking about it coming soon. I don't have any real links for you for it, but just be aware that that's a thing. Coming up, and when they do make the announcement, we will talk about it on a Tech Friday. But tomorrow we'll be talking about the video switchers that are available. And I'm finding there's newest rabbit hole that I'm considering going down, kind of. I went out to breakfast with some friends on Sunday, and one of them talked about setting up where did it go? Because I just saw the term. You can set up a home PBX, which is basically it's sort of like a little VoIP box, except you can plug in old rotary phones or dial phones or any other phones, and you can run those throughout your house because you can attach Ethernet cables to the back of those and attach them to this box, and people can call you, and a phone in your home can ring off of it. And so, you're not using one of these. You're, again, depending on more wires. So up to you. But I'm like, this is neat. But he's really into kind of a 1950s-ish aesthetic. So he wants to do this and put in an older style phone in his home, and just have a couple of them. Okay, that sounds cool. Yeah. Yeah, so all you want to do is Google or your favorite search engine, Home PBX. And there's lots of videos on it. I didn't understand how much of a hobby this was until I started looking into it. But yeah, it's quite a thing. And so this is probably my future rabbit hole. Let me skip this, and then so here's the first video I found on it that I kind of like. Okay, this person is really going in depth. So when I feel like going in depth, I'll probably start with that video there. That's by a David Baumel. So yeah, if you want to see how that's set up, there's just one of what turns out to be many videos. If you want to connect older phones throughout your house via Ethernet, there you go. Any older tech you are interested in? Kind of went down a rabbit hole with getting an old iPod as dedicated music player. Yeah, I'm interested in dedicated music players as well, because there's quite a few of them out now. That's another thing, you know, something I kind of almost keep in my car. Sorry, I need to check. Something. I need to respond to something really quick. All right. Let's see here. So yeah, I'm interested into the dedicated music player as well. That's something. I'm also looking into record players, things like that. I have a bunch of vinyl, and I still need to get a new record player in order to listen to it. But now I can get record players that connect to Bluetooth speakers, and I have a couple of Bluetooth speakers, so that'd be perfect. I just like vinyl records. Not that, you know, the whole spinning and thing that scratches a neat place in my brain. So yeah, definitely vinyl, definitely dedicated music players. Let me look over on my shelf of things. And books and see if anything's sparking anything else. Speaking of older tech, a guy I know started a business in town here, and it's only open Fridays and Saturdays. He has another business at a couple hours north of here as well. But you can rent or buy old VHS tapes from him. And I'm like, that's wild. And I don't really have a reason to go back to watching VHS format because it looks terrible. But especially just compared to regular DVD, even. But I am interested in things that would make this image here broadcast look like it was on an old TV. That is an interesting business idea, right? They even repair VHS players, and you can rent a VHS player from them. And he said that there were basically 6 parts that have to absolutely run on a VHS player, or the whole thing just won't work. And so, you know, finding those parts and knowing how to repair them is a skill to keep going, but they're getting more scarce because not as many people are using VHS anymore. But I'm interested in OBS and making this image look like it's on an older television, or like, you know, stuff that Brian does on his stream. And with the old TV effects, that kind of stuff, I'm like, cool. But I have no interest in actually messing with a VHS tape and putting it in and watching a VHS thing. Yeah, Finite's Retro Effects plugin. Yeah. Yeah, he was coding more of that today, so that's why I was looking at that. So, and I have VHS tape still of some stuff, just because. Yeah, I was about to say that because it's the only medium on which something exists, right? That's why I have the majority of my VHS tapes anymore, is because I can't find anything else. But also let me connect the player to something to digitize. Yep, that'd be cool too. You still kind of gotta go through a mess of wires to do that. There's a bit of setup, and then once you have it set up, knowing what to record in to make it look decent and putting it through things to digitize it. And this is where a program like Handbrake comes in handy. If you don't know what Handbrake is, Handbrake does a good job of converting things, of taking digital video and transcoding it to other sources. It's been around a long time. Handbrake is amazing. Plus, you can take a video and it has presets where you can set it to a specific type of device, and it'll look good on look good on that specific device. So there's Handbrake if you haven't messed with Handbrake. But if you need to convert a video from one type of thing to another, definitely take a look at Handbrake. And like I said, I think it's been around 20 years or more. Let's see. Hi, Rex. Big collection of VHS. Have to see if my VCR still works so I can digitize them. Yeah. Saw a video guy who set up an encoding server to ingest his shoots and DCD collection. Oh, wow. Mostly use it to compress videos so they look good on Blue Sky because their video compression sucks. Yeah, DVD. Right. Yeah, if you want. So like Brian, if you want, videos to look good and you're not getting the quality you want, try running it through Handbrake and see what happens. Handbrake is the equivalent of software magic in a lot of cases. I did find recently one thing. I can't remember if it's on Amazon Prime or Crunchyroll, but Robot Carnival is a early anime, and it's a collection of short pieces all put together. And for the longest time, that was only on VHS, and now I can find it streaming somewhere. I forgot where I saw it streaming. But yeah, if you want some early 80s anime and it's kind of fascinating watch, check out Robot Carnival. Pretty cool. Or at least my memory of it's pretty cool. So, see if my memory's right. Let's see here. Okay, that's another thing I want to talk about tomorrow and not today. How much time we got? We got some time yet. Do you want the link to that video? Yeah, post that link if you would. That'd be fantastic. Thank you. Put that up. All right. Oh, it's a pretty recent video too. All right. I will add this to the watch list. Thank you, Rex. But going back to older tech that I looked at, definitely in the same boat as you, Springleaf, of dedicated audio players. There's a lot of them out now. Some of them are quite expensive. I'm like, I don't need to be that fancy. I just want to play some MP3s, right? Like, it's going through my car stereo. Oh, I saw another video. Need to be aware of. Okay. I'm briefly thinking of getting internet TV, like, local stations and things through a service, but I'm still deciding on one. And there's a video here that was posted 9 hours ago called "Major Changes Are Coming to Tubi." Tubi being one of the services I was looking at, so I'll watch that video later on. Right. Well, I was hoping to find my old MP3 players, but I haven't had much luck. Yeah. I don't know where mine are either. Well, wait, no. One I gave to a friend because, and this was years ago, because I got an iPod, so I don't have that one anywhere. Prax, hello. Thank you for the sub. Free sub. Welcome on in. If you want an invite into the Discord, let me know, and I will send you one. But yeah, there's a lot of these audio players now, and some are really high end, and I'm like, I just don't need it. Always down to chatting. More Discords. Okay, I will send you a link later. Oh yeah, thanks for having me. And Prax, if you have any more coming up, or you want to post links to the charity streams that are already happened, feel free. You have VIP. I got to play on Sunday. It was I had a fantastic time. Last one is Sunday, so yeah. So yeah, plug your channel and things like that. Do the thing. Prax is doing a lot of amazing charity stuff. So you did find your old Game Boy Advanced SP, bought a charger off Amazon, picked up Golden Sun off eBay. Wow. Amazing. Glad you're yeah, I hope that all works for you. So that's cool. I have sold off most of my old video game systems to one of those disc trading places because I don't use them. And I'm like, it's just sitting here. I need to get rid of this. And I didn't really want to throw it out. So I'm like, have thing for monies? And they're like, have monies for thing. I'm like, okay, thank you for monies. Or store credit or whatever they wanted to do. It works, but the battery life isn't great, so I probably will need to replace it. Yeah, and instead of worrying, I had thought about keeping some of my older systems, but I realized I'm not going to connect them. Some of those I can't even connect to a TV anymore. I'd have to go to look for a TV with the right inputs now. you know, because it's not HDMI or anything. So instead of messing with all that, I'll get into the retro systems or the retro collections that are on Steam. Or even if you go to archive.org, you can find a bunch of games to play off their website at archive.com. Archive.org, please. So yeah, they have a couple different libraries. They have MS-DOS games. And they have another one called Classic PC Games. And yeah, some of the DOS games you can either download or play right in the browser. Yeah, Internet Archive's great, y'all. A lot of rare little bits of things that you're just not going to find anywhere else. Do they have the Carmen Sandiego games? Oh, I don't know. They do have some. Okay, there's at least one. Possibly two. There could be more, but quick search gave me. I think there are only 2 to 3 to begin with, so 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? And let's see here. Oh, nope, another thing we'll talk about tomorrow. I gotta save some of this content for tomorrow. But yeah, the Internet Archive is a great resource. Make sure you're going to archive.org because I accidentally went to archive.com and that's something different. Don't go there. Archive.org. They're pretty fantastic. Plus, they have links to things in Project Gutenberg and stuff like that. So, yeah. excellent resource for stuff. All right, another kind of rabbit hole I'm going down is into the Everbook. And I think I talked about these before. And there's a company that makes Everbooks. And basically, Everbook is some piece of leather, and then you use loose paper, or you fold your own paper and you stuff it in there, and there's two sides. And there's a company called Everbook Forever that makes these leather things to keep all this loose paper together in, and you write it down, or you keep multiple paper journals in these things. But you can look at what the company does, and if you know a leather worker or you want to make your own cover of a different material, you can totally do that. And to contain all the paper, they have two bands around it because it is largely loose paper in there. Now, I don't know how much of a fan of this I am, because I'm pretty sure I would just have paper go everywhere. Like, it's a neat concept, and I'm kind of thinking about it for a certain project, being a little crafty with it. But I don't think I would use it all the time, like what they show for analog productivity. I'm pretty sure I would just have paper all over the place. All right. So yeah, that's why I stick to 3-ring binders for my Supernote Write. Or not 4, yeah. So if you're interested in what an Everbook is, there are various companies. There are a couple of companies that make the kind of leathery thing you need to fold other book. But if you like another material, same concept. You sort of have a left side and a right side, and you fold piece of paper, whatever size you need, into there. Or you take multiple pieces of paper or colored piece of paper, put them together, or you find a little flyer or something and you stuff it in your Everbook. And it's a way to organize your things, but sort of like if you, it's another thing, like it's a PKM type of thing, so a bullet journal, or you could put a bullet journal in this thing. I suppose you can make your own. Put in, and I speaking of this, I pulled out a field notes guide, and I was reminded I watched a TED talk on someone saying you can draw, and he taught cartoon characters. So I followed along, and I'll show you a couple of me attempting to follow along with instructions of drawing these characters, because I normally don't draw at all. It's like, you can do these little cartoon characters. So there you go. That's a couple examples. There was about, I don't know, 8 of these that he did, just to go, you know what, you can draw. And so that was part of his point. So yeah, I got 6 of those. So yeah, another little skill. I'm like, okay, well, now I can kind of draw things in this style, but hey, it's something I can draw. So yay, learning. If I could only draw that turtle picture. And some of you will know what I'm talking about. Always here for encouraging more drawing. Yay! That turtle haunts me. What's his name? Zippy? Yeah, I don't remember. But like, I see you, turtle. Your little open mouth. Your big owled eye. Yeah. Oh, another thing we'll be talking about tomorrow on Tech Friday is Valve's list of announcements. Tippy, and look it up. All right. Because Valve made a lot of announcements the other day. Right? Tippy! Along with the mouse and the pirate? Yeah. Now I want to learn HVAC and VCR repair for some reason. I also feel like I need to get some sort of mystery series from Time Life Books. Urge to read the book rising. All right. If there's anything else. We'll probably wrap up in a few minutes here. See who is on. Again, if you have any questions about anything, feel free to reach out. You can go to my website. There's an email button. Let's see. Oh, and my available TTRPG resources. Dynamic exclamation TTRPG? I think that's command. Yeah, look at that. I remembered a command. If you're looking for my free TTRPG resources, they're on my website at that link. I hope to get back to working on those. And let me... Oh, yes, I'm going to see who's on. That's what I was going to do. Oh, boy. Dinner plans fell apart on Tuesday, but maybe have dinner plans tonight instead. So let's see who is on. Who can we raid on over to? I see Panda is on, so let's go raid Panda. Yeah. But thank you all for being here. Remember, tomorrow, Tech Friday, will start an hour earlier because I have an appointment I need to get to. So usually it's 3 to 5 Eastern, but tomorrow will be 2 to 4 Eastern. So 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and then whatever, go to time zone converter and find your time zone. Let's go raid Panda, playing Anno 117. If I can spell right. And thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. Go by... I'm losing words. That's why I need to stop. There's a charity stream coming up. You should go look at it because I'm producing it on Saturday. And yeah, I can't even find the link right now. But yeah, I just follow me on Blue Sky. You'll find it there. All right, I'm going to get going. So stay tuned for the raid. Thank you for being here. Please be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And I'll see you all tomorrow for Tech Friday. Bye.